Apologies to my 4 subscribers and the YouTube algorithm for my just lack of consistency here. I haven't uploaded, from the time of this recording, I haven't uploaded in a week, and that's actually just because I've been caught up in the new season of X Defiant and playing Borderlands 3 with a good friend of mine. But I figure I'm just going to mass record a bunch of videos and just upload them once a week. Or maybe not mass record, I don't fucking know. I'm just going to try to keep a consistent basis of 1 video a week, because over all the years I've been doing YouTube, which I think is like 12 years, I have never been consistent across all the channels that I've uploaded on. I could never bring myself to upload daily or bi-daily, once every 3 days. I just can't. Okay, because if I don't have something to talk about, I'm simply not going to upload. So I figure once a week is probably the best option here. Maybe, aside from this video, every Saturday, every Friday, who knows. Anyways, I figure I'd dedicate this video to gaming, right? Obviously, I'm a gaming channel, right? But I want to talk about, in particular, how gaming has changed and why it did, and why things seem as bad as they are today. Essentially, there has been this massive problem that started, I think, ever since 2014. This got really bad around there. Back in the old COD games, there were a lot of people that would plug their YouTube channels into their clan tags or their emblems. Me being younger back then, I was even someone who did this, which is funny because, you know, the stuff that I did as a child without, you know, a fully developed brain is what some adults are doing now who have fully developed brains. So that, yeah, whatever. That's not even my point. My point is, it started back then. People would plug their YouTubes, their Twitters. I occasionally saw someone's Twitch. I occasionally saw someone's, like, you know, Instagram or something. I don't fucking know. But it was mainly just Twitter and YouTube. Those were the 2 platforms of that era. And these people always seemed to try a little harder than everyone else. Of course, it wasn't horrible back then, you know, compared to how it is nowadays. But it was still a thing, right? You'd run into, like, maybe one of these people every 4 or 5 lobbies you got into. So those odds weren't terrible. You weren't running into them all the time. But if you paid attention, you would notice, like, all of them had a pretty similar play style. They all sweated back then. And that has culminated to a much worse form of the same epidemic today, right? The amount of people that I run into with TikTok in their name, with Twitch in their name, it's insane. I'm running into Twitch streamers every other lobby on X Defiant. I ran into people like that back when I still played Call of Duty in, like, 2020. And I run into people like that on Battlefield, I'm pretty sure. And every time that I look at these people's profiles, I just see 0 viewer, 1 viewer, 2 if they're lucky, right? Usually it's 0 viewers. And they stream for, you know, just all day. As I mentioned in that one video that I uploaded a week ago, they essentially stream to nobody, and they essentially never get viewers because they're not understanding the fundamental reality of growth on Twitch. It just doesn't happen on the platform alone. You have to be popular before you get on Twitch. That's just how it is. Sorry. But I was playing X Defiant yesterday, as if the recording of this video, which was a Sunday. And I ran into a guy, it was actually a 3-stack, it was a 3-team, of people that were clearly in a party. I don't think the game tells you if someone's in a party or not, but I had a feeling they were in a party because they were all using the same gun, which was like an AK-47. They all had the similar playstyle, they seemed pretty coordinated, like they were communicating or something. But it was just a hunch, right? There was this one guy in particular who had Twitch in his name, who, I can't even remember his name, but he was sweating so unbelievably hard. It was one of the hardest fucking sweats I've ever seen in the game in a long while. And by a long while, I mean a week, because there's a lot of sweats on X Defiant now. But he was straight up putting 150% into the game. He was clearly on PC with a better frame rate than me, which I'm still running 60 FPS on X Defiant on PS5 because I don't have a monitor yet that's 120 hertz. But he was sweating his ass off pretty badly. It was really bad. And essentially, I looked at his Twitch stream, and at first his Twitch stream wasn't showing up, right? I searched his name, his exact name, and it just wasn't showing up. Like, his channel just wasn't there. But I found, actually, a couple of clips, or a couple of VODs, as they call it, video on demand, I think it means, on the search page, and I clicked on it, then I clicked on his channel, saw that he was in fact live, and that he was in fact playing X Defiant, And I decided to click on his stream. He had 0 viewers. I was his only viewer, and the guy had his camera on, his mic on. You know, he was in a Discord call with 2 of his other buddies. And the guy in question here who was streaming, he was massively overweight. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not, trying to exaggerate for the comedic effect here. This guy was massively overweight. We're talking, he probably was pushing 300 pounds, maybe even more. He was huge, and he looked like he didn't even fucking shower. He lived in a pretty normal looking house. He had LEDs and shit, the whole PC setup, the whole fucking thing with all the Twitch streamers. He had all that going for him. But the guy just didn't look like he showered. And after facing him in the game, and after seeing about 3.5 minutes of this guy's stream, I felt so much secondhand grease. I literally got up, turned my console off, took a shower. It was so bad. Shit is horrendous when the secondhand grease gets you that bad. But essentially I thought to myself, people like this, they have infested the gaming community with their sort of min-maxing fucking hyper-optimization mindset. This whole self-determinism virus that everybody seems to have nowadays in the gaming space, where they think if they're not getting drastically better or exponentially better every game, it's a problem. If they're not the best, it's a problem. And everyone just feels a need to be the best, to put on their best, fucking suit, so to speak, right? To impress people, to try their hardest, to use the most meta weapons, because, if you're not, then you're at a disadvantage. It's all about advantages nowadays, even in casual shooters, in unranked, mind you. This is bad. It's bad. Everybody is slowly developing this mindset, because the rate at which people are adopting this is pretty quick, and it's getting to a point where it feels like 40% of everybody who plays FPS games falls into this category, and it seems to be growing. A lot of casuals seem to not really be sticking around in XDefiant. I don't run into people that are sort of average anymore. The most people that I run into are straight up like 1.5 KD players on Call of Duty. Like, if you put these players in old CODs without skill-based matchmaking, they would have, on average, a 1.5 KD, which is crazy. Okay, people are not... There's no average players in this game anymore. There's no bad players in this game anymore. It's all slowly turning into just sweats versus other sweats. And yeah, it's entirely just a cesspool of people that are overly competitive. And this stuff leaks out and not only into the internet, but into the real world as well. People are just not mentally well anymore. People's social life is not really well anymore. I understand that maybe what happened with, the gaming space is not entirely responsible for all the world's problems, but it essentially, it seems to correlate. It seems to be like definitely a factor in why young people around my age are just all fucked in the head. Everybody's fucked in the head. Everyone has a problem. Mental illnesses. People are just narcissistic, as I said. It is a mess. The one piece of advice I'd like to leave this video off with is simply just disconnect. Don't get too involved in the internet anymore. Just don't get too involved into gaming anymore. It's not healthy. Okay, I used to be in this trap a long time ago, back when this stuff first started. The whole taking everything seriously epidemic that people seem to have developed nowadays. And I guess I'm not really articulating exactly what I mean by that. If you just look at people nowadays, right? Go on a game, go on game chat, everybody's either fucking retarded or they're just angry as hell, taking it way too seriously, etc., right? There's almost no in-between anymore. Don't fall into that category. Don't take it seriously. Don't let it control your life. Don't let it be... Don't let your life be an extension of whatever energy this shit puts into you. It's not good. I'm certainly in the process of, disconnecting from everything. Social media is a big example. I'm probably not going to be, looking at social media the same way anymore, or using it the same way anymore. Social media has ultimately proved to be very unhealthy for me, although I was one of the naive people that thought social media was never going to have a negative effect on me, because I knew better. I knew what it was doing to me, so it wasn't going to affect me. And I was completely blindsided in a lot of ways, because social media didn't affect me the way that it affected other people. It seemed to just affect the way that I think in a pretty odd way. I don't know. None of it's really healthy. So I thought I'd just leave the video off with that, if I even made any sense there in my rambling, my unscripted rambling. So yeah, see you.